Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Well, welcome back to Nittany Game Week. Our Impact Interview guest is Mr. College Football, one of the best ever to cover college football in the South, a columnist, author, reporter, Tony Barnhart. Tony, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. It's good to be on with you.
Well, we're going to talk about your book in a little bit here, but let's start with the bowl season and the Peach Bowl specifically. Penn State versus Ole Miss. Great matchup. First time for Penn State in the Peach Bowl and against Ole Miss, so a lot to look forward to for Nittany Lions fans. What can you tell us about the Lane Kiffin experience and this year's Ole Miss squad?
Well, Lane Kiffin has become one of the better play callers and offensive minds of his generation. He's had a great year. Jackson Dart, the quarterback, has improved significantly since he got there. And what Lane Kiffin does is what you do with great quarterbacks and great receivers. They spread you out, and when you spread out too deep, guess what? They're going to run the ball. So I think this is going to be a really, really good football game. I met with Gary Stokan, the CEO and president of the Peach Bowl, and he was really, really excited about this matchup.
Well, Tony, switching gears, we want to talk about your book, The 19 of Greene. You write about a turbulent time in American history as schools across the country started to integrate, and your team in a small town in Georgia had just 19 players on it. First year it was integrated. And in the book you talk about you and your teammates really didn't understand or think of yourself as trailblazers, but as time followed, your teammate Tom Faust said, this is one of those things you really don't appreciate until later in your life. You just don't understand the importance of it while it's happening. As 5 decades now have passed, what does that season now mean to you and your teammates, and how has that mirrored the changes of what we've seen around the country along that time in history?
Well, Jay, I'll give you one example. The quarterback of our team was a guy by the name of Charles Turner, who came over from the black school, from the African American school, and it was clear. I asked one of my teammates, I said, when did you know that Charles Turner was going to be our quarterback? And the guy said, the minute he got off the bus. Okay, it was obvious. My point of this is that Charles Turner and I met 52 years ago in the spring of 1970, and he and I have been changing messages. He is one of my very, very best friends and wrote the foreword to the book. The bigger question, though, is did we know what it meant at the time? And, of course, we didn't. We were 18 years old, 17, 18 years old. We wanted to win. We wanted to win football games, and we had to do it with 19 guys. And it was just an incredible experience. We had a signing at my old high school 2 weeks ago. There are 15 of us that are still alive, and of those 15 living teammates, 9 showed up. And we had it was a tremendous day.
Hey, Tony, Penn State's first trip to the Peach Bowl. What should we tell the Penn State fans to do while they're down there?
A lot to do downtown Atlanta. Obviously, you got to start at the College Football Hall of Fame, which is right adjacent to the Omni Hotel. It is, you might have been to the old one at South Bend. This one is interactive. It's a great, great trip. And you absolutely have to do that. We have a new world of Coca-Cola. Obviously, Atlanta is the home of Coca-Cola. Incredible museum about the history of that. The aquarium is as good as any aquarium in the country. You need to do that. And the Civil Rights Museum is also there. So there's a lot to do downtown. Obviously, Centennial Park, which was the focus of the 1996 Olympics, is a great place, and hope we get good weather. But there's a lot to do in Atlanta.
Hard to match Tony's passion and expertise when it comes to college football. We're going to step aside for the TV show to take a break. We will continue our interview. So if you want to see the entire conversation with Tony Barnhart, make sure to go to NittanyGameWeek.com, where you can consume all of our web-exclusive content.